Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. The story behind this video is funny now, was not funny then. And I will explain. Before I get started, head on over to my website and check out all of the prints I have available. I have uploaded pretty much all of my paintings that are current. I have them all for sale as prints. If you want to buy one, they're actually pretty reasonable. Go over there. I also have all my originals if you want to buy any of the ones that you see in any of these videos. And go check out our music channel for anything music. So I'm not putting any music on this channel anymore. Just want to let you know that. Go check that out. It's over on the Kempter Duet. I will put a link in the description. Go check it out. Okay, so on to the story. So the backstory of this painting, I have 5 siblings, 4 sisters, as most of you guys know. One of my sisters is also an artist. She mainly, for the majority of her art career, she was in pencils, but she's been lately moving off into colored pencils and watercolor and that sort of thing. And she entered into a art exhibit, which is in my local area, and did pretty well. It wasn't a competition. It was just like all the artists in the area, you paint in this criteria of painting whatever it is, blah, blah. She did pretty well. Of course, obviously she's an amazing artist. One of my other sisters, Joanna, who's actually appeared on this channel in the art competition that I did with the paint by number, and I lost to her somehow. That's not the one that does the watercolor. It's my sister, Neil. Anyway, my sister, Joanna, started pestering me about getting involved in the gallery. Well, I've got a bunch of commissions. I've got stuff that I do as far as art is concerned on a regular basis anyway. And she was harassing me, basically, telling me that I needed to get off my rear end and go do this art competition because there was a wildlife. They called it Art Gone Wild, and it was 16 different birds that you had to paint within this competition to qualify. And there was a couple other rules so that you had to follow the rules pretty rigidly to kind of, I guess, be qualified to enter into the gallery competition. So she was begging me, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. Well, I got so annoyed of her begging me over and over and over again that I decided to enter the gallery competition only in secret without telling her, and to play it off like I had not entered in. I had about maybe 2 weeks to paint something to get into the gallery because they had a deadline of when you had to actually submit your art. It was way before. It was like a month before the actual competition, or a month and a half actually, before the competition, so that they could verify everything, get everything in there that was going to be part of the gallery, and then you'd have to take your painting in, all that stuff. So I came up with this elaborate scheme. I started being like, well, I just got a lot of stuff to do. I never said I wasn't going to do it, so I wasn't actually like straight up lying. I was just like obfuscating, which is kind of the same thing, but it helps me sleep at night. Anyway, so I came up with all this stuff about I'm just too busy, maybe next time, all this stuff, all while actually working on the painting. My thought process was, and basically the only reason why I was doing this painting and entering into the gallery anyway, was to surprise her, because what I wanted to do is all show up on the opening exhibit night. So when everything opens, all walk in and be looking at the paintings, and then Joe see my painting and I'll be like, wow, what's that? And then I'm like, yeah, I obviously entered into the gallery, and see her reaction. That was basically what I wanted to do. So I paint the thing, and I don't post any pictures about it. I don't share it on any of my social media accounts that I promote my paintings. I don't do any of that. I'm strictly working on it. Anytime we have any of the family over, I'm hiding it. The closer it gets to the time after I painted it, I obviously can't keep it to myself. So I told my sister Charlie, and then one of my other friends, and I told her husband, and I kind of started realizing that I needed to get a few more people on my side to make sure that my sister, Joanna, did not walk into the gallery and see it. Because the way that it's set up is you take the paintings in about 2 weeks before the actual exhibit opens so that they can figure out which paintings go where, which paintings fit together, the legitimate reasons of getting your painting in early, because they've got to set the gallery up for the exhibit. Well, the problem is it's open to the public at any point in time. So anyone can literally walk in there between the time that I took my painting in and the time of the opening of the exhibit and see all the paintings. So I jumped into action, and I'm like, you know what? I have got to figure out a way of getting this painting in there without Joe seeing it and without Joe going in the gallery. So my first thought was I could ask them to cover it up until the actual opening day. Now, my wife told me that was a stupid idea and I shouldn't do that, which it may have been a stupid idea, but who knows? That was my idea. And I told her, I'm like, look, I really want to cover this up. I want to keep this away from being exposed to anyone who walks in as long as possible. Well, that idea fell through because I was told that I don't want to be causing any problems with the gallery or they'll never invite me back, which may have been the case. And who knows? I don't know. But anyway, so I decided not to do that. So my next thought was to get my sister Danielle involved, which in hindsight didn't really make any difference because my sister Danielle and Joe have been going out and taking their children on walks in the park. And there's a trail in the park that goes basically right up next to the gallery. The trail ends in the little town that's Wetumpka. And they always go walking over there, and it's an air conditioning room, and you can get out of the heat, and you go in there, and you walk around, you see the paintings, and then you leave. Well, I was desperately trying to make sure that didn't happen. And so I called up my sister, and I'm like, you know what? I told you I probably wasn't going to enter in the gallery, or I made it sound like I didn't. But I actually entered into the gallery, and here's why. So I talked to her, told her about it, and I'm like, I need your help. Whatever you do, I need you to keep Joanna out of the gallery, if possible. So she's like, well, I've got stuff to do. I'm moving. She's helping me with that. So there's probably not going to be a problem going and getting, making sure she doesn't go in the gallery. Because she's going to be helping me. She's probably not going to have any time to go in there and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. Whatever you do, make sure she doesn't go in the gallery. Well, I told my sister Charlie, I told my sister Danielle, I had a bunch of people involved, and then I get this video.
That is so good. Look at that.
So yeah, my brother-in-law, Joanna's husband, sends me a video from the gallery about my painting, saying, oh, what's this? And I tried to play it off, which I said, oh, looks like someone's copying my signature, which that didn't fly. They obviously knew that wasn't true. When I tell you, there has rarely been times in my life where I have been more angry than I was when I got that message from my brother-in-law. I'm not lying. I about lost it because I have been planning for about 2.5 months, by the way, this surprise. I had gotten to the point where I actually didn't care about the outcome of the competition, whether I won or not. Because when I actually got in there and saw it, I was pretty convinced that I was not going to win because the art in that competition was actually pretty amazing. And some of them were definitely heads and shoulders better than mine because it was actually people were sending in paintings from like out of state. So like Illinois or Louisiana or something came in, and they were people from out of state that were actually probably artists that have gone to school and understand composition better than I do and all that stuff and have been doing it longer than I did. They sent their stuff in and it was pretty amazing. But anyway, so I raged for about 2 or 3 days. And what I couldn't understand, it was like, why could not? And I had been dropping hints for probably the entire time saying, hey, last time I didn't get to go with you guys and I showed up really late. Can we all make sure we go to the gallery at the same time? Like all at the same time? So we can all see it together? I don't know how many times I said that. I must have said that 100 times. If I had a dime for however many times I've said that, I would probably have more money than what I would have if I won the competition. Like that's how many times I said it. Trying to be as obvious as possible. Apparently it wasn't enough. But anyway, I had this whole video planned out where I was going to have like, ooh, I surprised my sister by entering into a gallery competition that she had asked me in secret. Probably need to work on the thumbnail title. But anyway, it was going to be something along those lines. It was going to be a banger video, like super clickbaity, really good content, actually delivering the clickbait. I was going to film her reaction while walking through. It was going to be amazing. Yeah. Well, that didn't happen. And so the entire time that has been after that, she's been talking about the gallery competition, and like there was a commercial and my sister's painting was in it and mine wasn't. And I'm like, Joanna, I do not care about this competition. I never did. The only thing I cared about was surprising you, which kind of sucks because I didn't surprise you. So, but that is kind of the backstory of this painting. That's literally the only reason why I did this, was because I wanted to surprise my sister. And it is kind of cool to get into a competition because I've never done this before. I never did a competition. And if I had to do it over again, this painting, what I would have done is I would have added in just very faintly the silhouettes of trees and like a blurry moon in the top left-hand corner because of the way the bird is set. The wing is going up to the right-hand corner. To offset that, I would have put the moon over in the left-hand corner of the painting. And I think that might have got me to a place where I might have been more competitive in this competition, because coming from a gallery, not a gallery, but like a artist judging perspective, they're probably, because there's so many good paintings, they're probably going to be weeding stuff out based on the total composition of a painting. So they're like, well, this background is really good, the foreground is done really well, it's composed correctly as far as where it is in the image, everything works really well, blah, 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 blah. Mine, even though I did come back in and I added in the mist, like he's coming out of the dark, and that's kind of what I wanted. It's a Cooper's Hawk. Even though they're probably, I don't actually know if they hunt at night, I wanted him to kind of be like coming out of the mist at you, and you like turn around and you see this thing, he's right behind you. He's a real striking image. And if I had to do it over again, I would have put him in a scene, even though an owl would have probably worked better. But anyway, there wasn't any owls on this competition criteria. But anyway, so I probably would have done that, and I think I haven't found out at the recording of this video. I will actually find out in 4 days if I won or if I placed, because there's actually 5 categories in which you can place. And if I place or if I don't, if I win, who knows? I do not personally at this time think I will win, based on the fact that my background is not as good as some of the other paintings in the gallery, because I'm not joking, there are some amazing paintings in this competition. And one in particular was really sad to me because the guy shipped it, and whatever he shipped it in, it got stuck on the canvas. So the parchment got stuck on the canvas, and when they were trying to pull it off, it like was pulling the paint off. And I was like, that is so disappointing, because if that doesn't disqualify him, I think his will win. But if it does, I think his would have won if it hadn't had the parchment on there, because it was just amazing. But anyway, so that's why I think I probably will not win this competition. But this painting is not for sale at the moment. If it wins, however, it will still not be for sale. That's the wrong thing. So if it wins, obviously what they do is the painting is bought by the gallery. All things considered, I don't think it's maybe actually bought, but basically they own the painting if you win the competition. So you get the prize money and they get the painting. It's kind of like that sort of thing, if I understand it correctly. If not, it's up for sale, and I will put it on my website. I will be selling prints of this if it does not win, because if it wins, they also own the rights to the painting, so I can't be selling prints of the painting. So if it wins, this painting will literally just be a video. And if you want me to paint something similar to it, then you'll have to private message me or something like that, or email me or along those lines. Anyway, if it wins, obviously I can't do anything with the painting or with the reference photos or anything like that. This is the owner, it's owned by the gallery that I entered in. But if I don't win, I'll sell the painting, or I'll put it up for sale, and I will be doing prints of this, and I probably will put it in the background. But I really don't care whether or not I win. I only cared about surprising my sister, and I didn't do that, and I'm very annoyed. As you can probably already tell, I am going to be painting some more, a lot more in the near future, and I would like to do commissions. I would like to do anything along those lines. So send me your subject matter if you're looking for some paintings, and I'm going to be kind of branching off into the more cliche styles, so landscapes, that sort of thing. If you want any of that, stay tuned, and I will be having videos, and go check out my Facebook page, because that's where I post most recent stuff. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please don't